Hi folks, welcome to MTS. Today we're going to do an unbox of a post-war Lionel 602 Seaboard diesel switcher. Condition is unknown, as the previous owner did not have the ability to test it. And only a few pictures that were even included. The one thing that I always look out for, especially on the post-war diesels, is generally the front. So it's kind of we're going to roll the dice real quick and see if cosmetically the shell is in pretty good shape. It looked okay again on the picture side. Oh, here's some parts. Okay, well, we'll see that here in a minute. But again, about the norm is what we're going to find here. So in this case, it looks like they've put a tension spring on top of that. Actually, it doesn't look like. Looks like it could be in pretty decent shape. I'm not seeing any cracks. But we're going to get into it. I can already see we're going to need to do some cleaning on the roller inside the reverse unit. And it does spin. The armature's turning as well, so that's another good sign. Take the motor apart, clean it off real good. So this will be a good project. And again, I'm actually impressed with the overall condition. So I'll bring it back here in just a minute. So for today's restoration, we're going to use dental pick, Phillips head screwdriver, got some Q-tips, toothpicks, a pair of needle nose pliers. We're going to use the Lucas red and tacky grease, and we got some electrical contact cleaner. Also, anyone working on any kind of restorations, highly recommend Greenberg Repair and Operating Manual. In this particular case, I've already marked the place here, but we already have, there's the 602 right there. It's got everything broken down, parts list, even notes regarding the model itself. So just a wealth of information in these books, and it saves you a lot of time and a lot of effort. As stated, when I opened the box, I already saw where something was broken. After referencing the Greenberg Repair Manual, I'm going to need a new replacement rear coupler shaft. But it has the lock washer on the bottom of it, so I'll hold on to that, and the spring, so I'll hold on to that for the parts. Then I'll have to reinstall the bracket into the truck. So first we're going to remove the shell, inspect for cracks. Okay, and again, this is not uncommon, but you can see where that's been broken on the bottom part. However, that's actually a pretty neat, resourceful idea, is using a compression washer to cover that up. But again, no disappointment. I've only got $45 in this locomotive. Looking at the inside of the locomotive, it's pretty clean for the most part. Looks like the wiring is stable. Everything's connected. Brushes are a little worn. We'll definitely have to replace the brushes on this one. Horn assembly is intact. And again, we'll get into the E unit as well. Just Let's make sure all of our contacts are clean there and clean out that roller. Okay, we'll go ahead and remove the brush plate. Okay. Yeah, those brushes look like they're pretty worn down really good, so let's go ahead and replace those brushes. Oh. Out of brushes. Off to the train store. Okay, before we replace the brushes, we're going to go ahead and clean out wherever the brush would make a contact. So in this case, we're going to take our needle nose pliers, bend up on this little brass tab. We're going to free that spring. We're going to do that on both of them here. Want to be really careful with those brass tabs because they will break off. We're going to grab our Q-tip and some contact cleaner. I'm just going to get in underneath here and clean that out real good. Oh yeah. There's the armature, comes right out. We're going to clean this part here. This unit's from the 50s, so well over 70 years of goo in here. Get a paper towel as well. There we go. Okay, there's not a lot of grease, old grease even on the armature, the spline there. So we're gonna put some new grease on, pack some new grease on that, and good to go. Thought I had dropped a washer in there, and there, sure enough, it's metal and it's attached to that. So we'll take that out. Again, good old dental pick. Since we can see down in there, I'm going to take some just regular oil, get it on inside on the axle, and there's There's another point right here we're going to get as well. These are the magnetized axles, so this is a good chance to be sure to remove any kind of metal filament. Oh, look at there. There's another washer. Oh yeah. Now we're ready to reassemble. So again, we're going to take our armature. I'm going to use some of this Lucas red and tacky grease.
Put some on the end as well.
Thanks to the folks over at Roundhouse. I was not only able to get the brushes I need, but also the coupler pin we're going to need as well to fix that coupler in the back. Okay, replace the brushes. Reinstall the springs. Push that little brass tab right down in place. We'll reinstall our screws. We're going to check this light bulb. How we check the light bulb, we're going to plug up our CW80 transformer here on the bench. A couple of our gator clips. We're going to just a bayonet style bulb. So we're just going to put one gator clip on the outside and touch the other point to the end. And there we go. Working bulb. So in removing the E unit, generally there's just one screw, and you can see it right here. To add a little bit of an angle, but we should be able to get that out okay. There we go. So probably the right way to do it would actually remove these 2 points here and drop the motor assembly. However, I was able to turn the screw sideways and break it loose. And then all we're just doing now is just trying to get it just enough to where it can slide up. Yeah, the roller assembly inside the E unit is pretty nasty. All the wiring looks like it's intact, so that's good. So we're going to use my little trick here, where we take a toothpick, just slide that along there, like so. Put our safety glasses on, and we'll get the Dremel fired up. Then after that, I'm going to spray a little contact cleaner down in there. There's 4 tabs on the very back side here, and then there's 2 on the bottom. We're just going to clean those off real. There we go. Nice and clean. Just doing a quick check around the outside. All right, now we'll reinstall. There's a small lock washer where that screw is that we undid earlier. So if you just turn it to where it's facing, I guess where the motor's pointed down, just let gravity help hold that lock washer in place. Then we can just retighten it. Turn the screwdriver sideways and torque it down a little bit. It's nice and secure. Okay. So, checking the list. Check and clean roller E unit, remove brush plate, armature, pack new lubricant, check the light bulb. So the only other things we're really going to need is just replacing this piece here. This is like an exclusive. I've never done this replacement before. Yeah, what we're going to have to do is actually remove the truck assembly. So we'll take a couple pair of pliers, straighten out these 2 pieces here, and that should allow the horn assembly to lift up. The C-clamp that we'll remove to remove the truck. There's the spring. There's a little washer here. And then we're going to remove the C-clamp from the end of the broken piece. So the coupler's going to actually rest on top of here. So the T is actually going to rest inside of the coupler. Then we're going to put a washer, and put the spring, then the next washer, and then the C-clamp. You just want to start with the C-clamp like so, and with it being plastic, it just slides right on. Alright, and then there's the assembly. So we use a pair of pliers. Let's see if we can't straighten this out. Like so. You want to mind your wiring here, so Once that's in place, that should just pry out. Just like that. There we go. I'm going to sit this down just so I don't have too much activity happening with the wiring. Use our flathead, remove the C-clamp, and that'll allow us to remove that. And then, as you can see, it's got two slots that match up to these. This is where it's going to get interesting. So the idea is we're going to plug that back in, and then I'll re-stamp it somehow to make it secure. So I'm in process of attaching this coupler assembly. I got the assembly actually into the threads or into the slot, but what I need to do is actually make sure that I keep pressure on this, and I'm going to use a punch in between just to separate that and lock it in place. I'm going to use a small C-clamp to keep that pressure on. But where I'm at right now is I'm going to have to remove the contact roller assembly in order to attach the C-clamp to that position. So we'll take a flathead, remove this one screw below. It has your wire, so you want to kind of be careful with it. There we go. We have that in place. Now I'm going to take my C-clamp. I'm going to try to make it right where the C-clamp is over the middle. I'm just going to put a little umph on it, nothing too crazy. And we'll take our punch. I'm going to put the punch in between. There's two little grooves that are right here on the top. So we're going to kind of just secure the truck. I'm just going to give it a couple of punches. Same on this side. We're going to remove the C-clamp. That is secure. Feel pretty good about that. Okay, attach the roller assembly. Okay. We gotta feed our coupler underneath the lip on the back. And we can reinstall our C-clamp. There we go. And since we got this assembly off, probably the first time it's seen daylight for a long time, so we're just gonna brush this out. I'm just using a little auto detailer horsehair brush here. Perfect. Just reinstall that. Make sure your insulator is still in place. There's a small piece of cardboard. Pliers, bend that back around again. on both sides. There we go. Nice and secure. Okay, well, we've gone through the list. The only thing remaining is inspecting the horn, and I've not had any luck, hardly ever, with these old style horns. But maybe today will be different. So looks like a standard C-cell battery. I'm just going to stick that in there. I wonder if I can just bypass that. Make a contact. I'll be dipped. All right. Let's do a bench test. Okay, we got something happening. Smell the ozone. All right, that's a successful test. We'll put it back together and get it on the layout. Okay, so I'm putting the other screw, and I wanted to make a correction. So this rectangular piece on the end, that's actually called a speed washer. I don't know what I was calling it. Not a speed washer. That's what it's called. But it actually, for anyone who has these old post-war switchers, that's actually a really good idea. It helps kind of distribute the pressure so it doesn't cause any more breakage. So one of the things I noticed when I was putting this back together is this wire that runs the headlamp is really crispy. You can see the insulation is chipping off of it. I'm going to desolder, put a heat shrink tube around the exposed wire, and then resolder it back. Even better still, I actually had the assembly for the positive wire. So I'm just going to replace that completely. So I'm just going to take my wire cutters here, and we're going to cut that end off there. Remove the bulb. Push this up in there, grab my needle nose pliers. There we go. We'll get this wire out of the way. Oh yeah, it's broken in multiple points, so definitely the better option. We have our new assembly here. We'll just feed the wire down through the light bulb shaft. Bring that down. We'll reinstall our light bulb to keep pressure on it. And we're just going to kind of follow the same path back over to this assembly here. Move that out of the way. I'm going to put a little flux on here, just make sure we got a good secure contact point. It's nice and secure. have it, folks. As stated before, I'm in the Locomotive $45, now with about $7.50 in parts. I can live with a Postwar diesel switcher for $52.50. Hope this video was able to help you out, or at least see another method to keeping these classics on the rails. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the line.